The right way to manage startup spending. A surefire way to scare your investors and board members to death is to spend the cash you have too quickly on crazy things. In fact, not understanding your finances and incorrectly communicating your finances is a great way to get fired. Yet too many startup CEOs don't know their numbers and then make matters worse by spending money on the wrong things. In today's video, I'm going to explain to you the mistakes you don't want to make with your startup spending, the right way to manage your startup spending, the best way to communicate your startup spending to your investors. I hope you like it. Hi, I'm Brett. On my channel, I help early stage startup CEOs like you raise money and grow your startup. So if this sounds like you, then hit the subscribe button and the bell so you get notified every time I release a new video. Let's get started. The mistakes you don't want to make with your startup spending. Let me start with a story. After my company raised its initial funding of $12 million, two of my co-founders, Randy and Ken, started campaigning that we should spend money on an ERP system. That's an enterprise resource planning system. Randy and Ken were right. We needed a system to manage our complicated manufacturing process. The question was, what would we need and how much would it cost? So Randy and Ken set up a meeting with me to pitch their idea. It was the classic rabbit out of the hat meeting. They presented three choices to me. This is just so classic. The first choice was using a combination of QuickBooks and Excel to manage manufacturing. The system would work and it would be cost effective. However, Randy tried to convince me that this system would be buggy. Therefore, we couldn't use it. The second choice was using a system by Oracle that would cost us millions of dollars and would be way too costly. So that was out. So now we get to the rabbit out of a hat. That was the third choice. It was going to be a system that would be custom made for our business, and guess what? It would only cost us $500,000. What a deal! There goes $500,000 right down the toilet. I asked Randy why the combination of QuickBooks and Excel wouldn't work, and Randy couldn't give me a good answer. He kept going back to the fact that it would be buggy. Then I used the words that you're going to need to use over and over again. No, we're not going to do that. I told Randy that we're going to have to make QuickBooks and Excel work. This is the problem that you'll find yourself in over and over again. Many times, your team will want to spend money on things that just don't make sense for a small company to spend money on. You'll likely find that your team will feel that the money will last forever, so they just don't understand money. That's the problem. And you just can't ever give in because it will lead to more and more bad financial decisions. What do you spend money on? There are parts of your business where you don't have to spend money on, and there are parts of your business where you do have to spend money on. Your job as CEO is spending money on the stuff that matters. For example, for us, as an engineering-driven company, we needed to spend money on hiring great engineers and giving them the tools they needed to be successful. So we did just that. We spent what we needed to spend and it paid off. That's the contrast. It's what I call being appropriately frugal. In other words, you need to spend where you need to spend and save everywhere else. So, for example, we saved money on our cubicles, we saved money on our travel, and we saved money on the ERP system as I described it above. By the way, that QuickBooks and Excel combination worked very well even as we were shipping millions of units. The best way to communicate your spending to your investors. The other place that CEOs get themselves into trouble in is how you communicate your financials to your investors. First things first, you need to develop a budget. Yes, a budget. It's not hard to do. You can do it yourself using a spreadsheet, or you can use business planning software like liveplan.com that's very affordable. Then I would present to your investors an overview, waterfalls, and detailed financials. The overview would show the key financial markers for the company. And this is what it would look like. It would look like you would start with the intake, in other words, money coming in. And you'd show bookings, actual and planned bookings. Here's the actual, here's the plan. Then revenue, actual and planned. Then outtakes, this is the money we're spending money on. And here are the sample things you would typically spend money on. Engineering, actual and planned. Marketing, actual and planned. Sales, actual and planned. G&A, actual and planned. Now the result is you and your investors can see how you're doing versus plan. I've seen CEOs lose their jobs when you try and hide your financials from investors. You want to make it really clear and really obvious what's going on. Then for further clarity, you should do a waterfall for each of these categories. What's a waterfall, you ask? It's a simple chart that shows your original monthly plan and your updated monthly plan. It's a really useful tool that you should do even if you don't have investors, because it shows you what's going on and how you've made changes. It's going to look something like this. Here's the chart, here's the way it looks, and here you can see what's going on. The goal here is to be as accurate as you can be. No one, especially your investors, is expecting you to be perfect. However, they are expecting you to be clear about what's going on. And they're expecting you to learn from your mistakes. Finally, you should add in your detailed financials. This is a line-by-line look at how things are going. Adding these steps together builds investor confidence in you and your team that you are good stewards of the funding that you've received. Remember, you are managing other people's money, so make it easier for everyone to understand how that money is being spent. Oh, and one more thing. Under-promise and over-deliver. Here's what I mean. Under-promise on your revenue and budgetary goals. In other words, if you say you're going to spend $100,000 in a month, then spend a maximum of $100,000 in that month. And if you say that revenue is going to be $100,000 in a month, make that the minimum revenue that you achieve in that month. Get to at least $100,001. That's how you build investor confidence. Now, if this content is resonating with you, then please hit the like button right now. Now, here's a summary of what we've learned today. Number one, be frugal and don't spend money on the areas of your business where it isn't necessary. Number two, spend appropriately where you need to spend money. Number three, provide a detailed review of your financials to your investors that makes it easy for investors to understand what's going on. Number four, make under-promise and over-deliver the mantra for how you manage your company's financials. Now, what did you learn from today's video? Put your answer in the comments column below today's video. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments column too, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. Now, I have one more thing for you today. It's my free startup pitch deck template. It has all the slides you need to develop an awesome pitch deck. Click the link below today's video, and it's yours for free. And for more great content, click on the video at the end of today's video. And if you haven't already, then click the subscribe button to get more great content for startup CEOs. I'm Brett at brettjfox.com. Thanks for watching today. Take care. Bye.